Hi! Someone said something I don't agree with. I am so offended. I need a safe space.
When all your rage and apathy and hypnosis fills every year, you can't contain such a tragedy. You need your safe space. When facts explain, you run away, you don't go. You wanna scream, you whine, you can't stand it, lose. You spit your hate, don't need to change. Why can't you change? Well, you bitch and cry like a baby. When you submit, you're always complaining. Destroy your case, you lose some face out of my way. Well, after you, better than me, is to run and think, just do what I say.
It's scary what's going on.
We can't agree to disagree. Oh no, rules of the game apply to me, but not to you. You spit your hate, tell me to change, but why can't you change? Well, you bitch and cry like a baby. When you submit, you're always complaining. When you bitch and cry like a baby. When you submit, you're always complaining.
Nobody fucking cares that you don't like chicks with dicks.
This whole trial has just got this country so upset. It's so obvious what's going on with this Kyle Rittenhouse thing.
What a
Hey, welcome to Creative Chaos. My name is Christy McKenzie, and Creative Chaos is a show where I interview fascinating people creating fantastic things outside of the mainstream. And I just want to thank our opening band, our house band of this week, Calora. You can find them at caloraband.com, and we're going to see that video again at the end of our stream today. That's how we're going to close it up. Flip City's Creative Chaos is always sponsored by Flip City, and I have a little video to roll, so go ahead and roll it, Cosmic.
Flip City Magazine is just really pulling out all the stops, man. Your guys' production value of this magazine has gone insane. I mean, look at that. I mean, I remember when you guys, it was black and white. Even when it was black and white, I thought your quality was great. But damn, they just really stepping it up a notch. Look at this. James Corbett, boys. James Corbett.
Genuinely cutting. But also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
So that promo video you just watched is for a funding campaign that we are running exclusively on Fund My Comic. I always forget to promote that we do have a crowdfunding campaign going on exclusively on Fund My Comic. We choose that platform exclusively because of their dedication to free speech. And we're so happy that people like Salty Cracker, quite frankly, and James Corbett have such nice things to say about Flip City's work. We've been working hard for over 4 years to help America laugh again, and we'd love to help you too. Right now, our current edition is issue 15. We are still funding for this, along with volume 20 that is in the works right now. So I dropped the links to our crowdfunding campaign in all of the chats. You can click that, or just go to flipcitymag.com if you want to subscribe. And now it is time to bring in my sidekick, Batman, because that is how cool I am. My sidekick is Batman. Hey, buddy.
What's up, Chief?
How's it going?
I'm doing good. Hanging in there. How you doing this weekend? Well, this week.
Well, today is Practice Friday, so we can call it this weekend. I'm okay with that.
There you go.
Yeah,
we also have... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, you said... No, I don't want to interrupt you. Go.
Just wanted to say that we've got our Wizard of Oz out there, Cosmic Grandpa, and I wanted to wish him a happy birthday, brother.
That's right. Happy birthday, Cosmic Grandpa. I don't know if he's going to show himself for his birthday, but maybe we'll see him a little later.
Thank you, everyone.
We get the disembodied voice. Okay, awesome. So I wanted to show you a couple of cool things, but hold on. I think we're entering our housekeeping phase.
Housekeeping.
Do housekeeping first.
Housekeeping.
Come back later, please.
Housekeeping.
Not now.
Housekeeping.
Go away.
I come in anyway?
No, go away.
I come in anyway.
And we're coming in anyway. Yeah. It's funny. I was looking at my production notes and I'm like, where's housekeeping? Anyway, because of course I love my stinger. It makes me laugh. So part of my housekeeping today, Batman, I'm so super duper excited because on Creative Chaos #2, I had the pleasure of meeting and interviewing Mike Baron, and we had a discussion that we were just going to trade books. So a couple of cool things happened this week. Number one, I received his book, The Architect, and here is the cover of The Architect. I asked him to sign it, and I think anybody that agrees to trade books with me, I'm going to have them sign it as well. So
great idea.
Yeah, so I got an autograph. It looks fantastic. I have not had time to sit down and read it, but it's a full glossy, nice thick cover. So I'm really excited to read this. But something else that is fantastic is he actually reviewed Flip City.
Nice.
Yes, and he said Flip City magazine is brilliant satire. They rake the left over the coals, and I am okay with that. How do you feel about raking the left over the coals?
I think I don't think we should be just raking them over the coals. I think we should be stomping on them as well. But that's just me.
Very unforgiving of you, sir.
Now I have pardon me, I have no fucks to give on that point. Forgive me.
That's okay. That's okay.
The left, you got to remember something. I was married to a lefty. I'm trying to divorce my lefty.
That's right. That is correct. Well, see, that's the thing. I call myself politically homeless because I don't know if I've given up all my more not socialist, but social liberal views a little bit. I want to help people and everything. And I'm not as rah, you don't agree with, I don't know. Maybe I'm conservative.
Okay. So I am very much like you. First off and foremost, you have to realize I'm an empath. So I absorb energy. I absorb people's good, bad, and different. I absorb their energy. And when I do so, I have to be careful because if I feed on the wrong energy, I wind up getting angry with myself and I start getting aggressive, if you will. So
I've known many empaths in my life. I am not one. I think I can be very rude and mean to people without meaning to be, because I don't take people's feelings into consideration. Sometimes I'm so rude. But that's okay. That's all about me. So what I would love to do now, that ends our housekeeping. I just wanted to give you guys an update that Mike Baron is super duper and sent me a book and said nice things about Flip City. And I believe it is time to bring in our guest, who is Corissa Grant. She's a creator of Worthy Chaos, a collection of supernatural comics, which currently boasts 7 individual stories that have been bundled together to create a single hardcover edition. And here's a brief description of Worthy Chaos. In a world where forbidden love defies even death, Seraphina and Draven's fateful encounter as teenagers spark an unbreakable bond. A demonic possession leads to a gruesome family tragedy. Their love story takes a dark and perilous turn, setting them on the path where love, survival, and supernatural forces collide. Separated by a cruel twist of fate, Seraphina and Draven's lives unravel for a tragic incident tear them apart. While Sarah fights for survival, Draven descends into a life of darkness, each forced to believe the other to be lost forever. A decade later, their paths converge again, but their reunion sets off a chain of supernatural events that threaten to expose a haunting truth they never expected. So let's bring in Corissa and see what the hell is wrong with her. Hey, Corissa.
Hi. I would say a lot's wrong, but you said you only have an hour, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our That's our hardcover, 1 through 7. I started a year ago making these. 8 is actually live now on Kickstarter, so we have technically 8 out. And we release them every other month. And my artist is actually in them, almost done doing 12. So we're
Wow.
we're moving right along.
Nice.
Huh?
Nice.
Oh,
I'm giving thumbs up.
yeah. Yeah, it's actually a very long series. Series 1 is 45 issues already written. And it could stop there happily if we want to, but series 2 is also 45 issues written. And so you can stop there and you'd be happy. But I already started the first book for series 3. So so we've got about 100 issues or so, plus a prequel. So we've got a lot going on.
Okay. Now you said your artist is already on issue 12 and you're only funding for 8 now?
Yeah. So he's finishing 12 and he'll start drawing 13 next week.
Now, my assumption is that you guys are kind of more working in a partnership type of thing to then fund his work later, or are you paying him up front? How's that working?
Oh, I'm paying him up front.
Well, lucky you to have that
Yeah.
revenue.
No, it's all debt.
Oh.
It's the American way. I'm in debt. But my husband said the infamous words of "go all out for 2 years," and I told him he shouldn't have said it. But yeah, so I have till Halloween, and then we'll see how it goes by then, because Halloween is my 2nd year in comics, or be 2 years in comics. So yeah.
So a full 2 years.
Full 2 years is Halloween, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, you're
Can
kind of
I ask
killing
you-
it.
Can I jump in here and ask a question real quick? Corissa, have you been to any Comic Cons with your books yet?
Yeah,
Local-
I'm not a fan of tabling. I hate it. Well, I will say though, I did enjoy Nashville and the smaller cons. The larger cons, it's too loud and there's too much going on, and I have to pitch the book. So at the ones I've been to, it's just a little hard to get get out there. Plus, then I don't get to go see all what I want to go see. So I rather attend them. But I am doing Nashville this year, June 1st and 2nd. I love Nashville. It's just big enough to get a big crowd there, but not too big where they don't pay attention to everyone around them. And last year I paid for probably about double the table, which was nice. So
very good.
While you were there, were you able to make decent connections with other creators?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Usually I make better connections when I attend them more, because I can go to each table and talk to them. That's how I met my plushie queen, was at one of the conventions that I just went for fun. And she had amazing plushies, and I said, does she ever do commissions? And she said she hasn't, but she would, and now she's done a ton. And imitation is the strongest form of flattery, because I have 9 other creators now making plushies from her because of me. So
that's really funny, because I came across, I must have looked in the comments of something that you had posted, but saw somebody like, thanks Corissa for showing me this.
Yeah, there's been like 4 of those. I know Laurie just did one with the pillow, and a couple others did them with the plushies, and yeah, and another one did it with the 3D printing. So I'm supposed to be the rookie, and I joined all these things to learn everything, but everyone seems to take everything that I've done. So I think that's kind of funny, but I'm touched that they're copying me. That's a good thing. But yeah, everyone's like, oh, we're so jealous, you're so far ahead. And I was like, hey, you too can be in debt and far ahead too. I mean, that's the American way, right? I've been into debt 3 times and it's always paid off. So I'm hoping it continues.
I mean, you can view it as investing in yourself.
Well,
right?
That's what I said. I mean, a lot of people say, oh, you're supposed to, wait and see and fund it and blah, blah. I was like, well, I want to see it. These are for me. The fact that everyone else wants to read it is awesome, but I release these because I want to see it. I'm obsessed with my damn story. I want to see it. So I love that people help me fund it, man, but I don't know if I could stop, even if I'm just going to be me reading it. So
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really nice that you are already basically on issue 12, and sounds like you'll be able to just do campaign after campaign and after campaign.
I'm doing about 7 this year. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I want to, something that really hit me when I was reviewing your campaign, and I pulled this to read what you wrote about yourself, kind of as a creator introduction over on Kickstarter. And you say, being dyslexic, writing was not something I thought would ever happen for fun or any reason. And then you started writing, and it was mere one-liners. Then after 2 years, a paragraph at a time, multiple paragraphs, then novellas, and you go on from there. So to me, like, that's just kind of an inspiring story that could be used to inspire, like, even children to not get down in the dumps because you have a reading disability.
Yeah, I mean, in school, I didn't even know I was dyslexic. I just was absolutely horrible at spelling and word problems and all those things. And I had all the symptoms of it, but I didn't know that wasn't a thing that people knew about. And it wasn't until I was older where something sounded familiar, so I took a test, and you need 10 points to be dyslexic, and I had 38.
You're very dyslexic.
Yeah. And there's a lot of things that people just think that dyslexia is seeing like words backwards and all that, but it's actually not. It's a lot. I mean, it is, but it's a lot more. Like I could be I'm very verbally dyslexic. Like I can't do things, people say things, numbers, and I can take in like 3 numbers tops before numbers are the worst. But like it's all about, like, if you read something, and I used to read all the time, I used to read novels after novels, but you'd read a sentence and sometimes you didn't quite get the context of it, you have to read it again. So that was a very important thing. But when I started, I actually started through role playing online, where you write one-liners and you do like an action or something. And I can't even imagine doing one-liners now. It's been like 17 years. So I can't even imagine just doing one line, because now I sit down and I do 3,000 to 6,000 words in one sitting. So I never thought that would, that would happen. I technically have 13 novels already done. They're not to be released or anything, but those are the 100+ issues. So I definitely did not see that coming.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta let you know that my sidekick here, Batman, is dyslexic as well.
Nice. Well, not nice, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah. No, I was in. It wasn't considered special education, but I went to a special class, junior high school mostly, where I would sit in this like resource room, and it was cubbied, and they had a little video camera in front of me, like a little video screen, and the words would flash up on the screen, and then a little blue bar would scroll across the words, and I had to follow the blue bar to try and get me to read the words better. But I could read a book today, and I'll read the same page 5 times, and I won't understand any of it, but I can hear the book audibly, and I'll be able to understand every single word. I'm very visual and very auditory in that regard, and that's helped me a great deal, which is why I live on audibles.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I'm actually the opposite. So verbally, I'm awful. I need subtitles all the time. I can't listen to podcasts because I can't see the people's lips moving. It's very different for me to do audio. And when it came to reading, I can see the words fine. It's just I wasn't retaining, like information and stuff. So when I studied for a test, I can only study like the hour before and kind of see. I got lucky because I have like a photographic memory where I could see images. So I have to see the image of the page, and then I can kind of go and try to find the information on the page in my head. But if I'm reading it, it's a lot harder. But for some reason in my brain's like, oh, I know what it says. And I was like, well, that would have been useful while I was reading. But
so you have a photographic memory and you're dyslexic. So you're seeing the pages backwards in your head as well.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So and it's funny because when I'm writing, I don't see it in words. I see it, well, originally I saw it as movies in my head. Now I
Right.
see it as panels when I'm writing, which helps a great deal. But you know, so it's really funny. So I don't consider myself a writer, though I do get yelled at when I say that. I am an extreme storyteller. So I don't do when I'm writing, I don't do the whole show don't tell thing. I actually tell. That's what I do. I'm a storyteller. So when you read my writing, it literally, and I didn't do it on purpose, transferring it to comics. I just wrote this for fun. It wasn't intentional, but it transfers so well to comics because it literally says what's happening and where it's happening. So all I have to do is like separate them into panels. So it was like it was meant to be a comic and I just had no clue. So it worked out really well, but everyone's like, oh, why don't you release this as novels? It's like, I can't write. I'm not a very good writer. You know, it's like my dialogue's great. I can do dialogue. And my editor hates my dialogue because she wants it to be like proper. I was like, people don't talk like that ever. Nobody talks like that. And that's why a lot of people like my dialogue because it's how you talk. So the only thing I let them fix are like, well, I commas do not like me and I don't like them. I use them in the exact opposite. And you would think that I would just go with my opposite, you know, thought process, but it doesn't work that way. And my sentences are too long. She's like, this could be 3 sentences. So she helps me with that. But we don't like to change, you know, what my characters say or anything like that. But yeah, I would have never in a million years, if you told me 17 years ago when I thought of this, that it would be a comic, I'd be like, yeah, right. And it's funny because my brain does have the ability to do the show don't tell. And I tried it for like 1 paragraph and my brain hurt so much. I was like, because when I sit down, I literally don't know what I'm going to write. I sit down and I write it. I have no idea what's going to happen. I've argued with myself or my character about a scene being like, this is making no sense. And it winds up making sense at the end. So I've had arguments with myself. So it's probably best I don't think too much. But yeah, I tried once and I was like, no. Unfortunately, the comic situation worked out just fine because I kept saying this whole time. I think after I wrote 5 novels, which was the series 1 that this is, after I wrote 5 novels, I was thinking, what a waste of a cool story. Like, it's such a good story. And it wasn't until I was like, I'm going to print these for us, me and my well, for anyone that doesn't know. So I write the story and I write all the characters except Draven. I do not write Draven's thoughts or speech. My co-writer writes everything Draven. So when you're reading the 2 main characters, the female's me and the male is my co-writer. And you could tell their personalities because Seraphina, who's the angel descendant, she talks nonstop and barely thinks. That would be me. And then the other character thinks all the time and barely talks, and that would be my co-writer. So you can tell the difference between the 2 characters.
So I have another question for you.
Yeah.
Did you grow up reading comic books when you were younger?
I read Ghost Rider and Batman. Those are the only 2 I ever really read.
Wow. That says a lot. That says a lot right there.
Yeah, the Batman from the 60s had all the archived, the hardcover. I think it was 4, I think, by the time I was reading. And then all the Ghost Riders. I read the 90s, but when my brother was older, he got me into comics and he read the Johnny Blaze original Ghost Rider. So I read those too. And then Spirits of Vengeance came out and I read those. But I'm gonna be honest with you, when they did one crossover, which was fine. It was Midnight Suns, and then they did this really long crossover, and I couldn't afford it, so I just gave up. So that was it. I never read another mainstream comic until I started this, and now I really just read indie. I don't read any mainstream or anything, and I haven't found or missed one to be worth it. But yeah, so
gotcha.
Nice.
I'm sorry. I wanted to just quote real quick. If you ever get the chance, pick up Werewolf by Night, the 70s, the early 70s, late 70s.
Werewolf by Night. Yep. He actually sent one. He has issue 1, and he sent it to be like graded or something. Yeah.
That great storylines on that one. You would appreciate it. You know, that kind of horror mystery stuff going on in that. But I digress. Please continue, Christy. Sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to do a quick check-in so that I can thank everybody for being here. I see that Rogaroo over on Odyssey has popped in. Thank you so much for coming in and saying hello and dropping, I believe, what was supposed to be maybe a GIF or something, but it's coming up as a long piece of text. And yeah, my other monitor isn't turning on, so it might take me a second. Slow Boy Whiteboard and Madness Comic Network, thank you so much for checking in on YouTube. I forgot a part of our housekeeping is, thank you for popping that up, that we are syndicated now. We are going to be played on the Madness Comic Network over on YouTube. And I know they're getting together a thank you, Cosmic, for going back and grabbing that one. And they are putting together a Roku channel and all that. And what you're looking at now is basically the mascot of Madness Comic Network. And his name is Crom, and he is the oldest internet troll, and I think he smokes weed or something.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, Crom's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're being syndicated on Madness Comic Network. Thank you guys so much for picking us up, and anybody that's watching us after the fact, thank you for checking out my stream with Corissa Grant here. So you obviously know Pops too.
Pops is amazing. I met Pops last December, and I had 2 days left on my original artist #1, which I wound up spending $5,000 on and throwing it away. So he met me 2 days before my thing. Is like, what am I supposed to do with 2 days? And I was like, what are you supposed to do at all? Like, I didn't think he was going to do anything, but he busted his butt to help me get my story out there, and I really appreciate all that Pops does for me and everything. And I really hadn't been on shows before him, really, because when I started on Twitter, I didn't even say that I was a girl because it was horror and I wasn't sure I would be taken seriously, so I kind of just was staying hidden. And then I met Laurie from Path of the Pale Rider, and I thought, well, she's a kick-ass girl and she's in horror, so I guess it's okay. So then that's when I went on Pop Show. That was the first time really anyone had seen me. So yeah, I absolutely I owe a lot to Pops, but yeah. So
that's fantastic. Yeah, he's kind of a morale booster.
Yes,
and
he
just
is.
The fact that he's super supporting pretty much any indie that wants his help. So
Yep.
yeah, you've
for nothing in return.
And ask exactly, except for to support his campaign, the Roku campaign that didn't end up going through, but I understand that they're doing something else.
Yeah.
Now. All right. And then I'm gonna check in over on Pilled, my home network. TGM checked in super early. I don't know if you're still here. My buddy 451 Actual, how's it going? Prairie Fire, thank you for popping in. Truett. Let's see. Nope, I think they're responding to somebody else. Paul Thaddeus. The Batman, is that you, Batman?
Yes, dear.
Okay.
I was in the chats earlier saying hello to all my friends.
Yes, and then we've got Norm, aka Hangton, Alien Surfer. And I did want to say Classical Chick did pop in Pilled promos, and Classical Chick said a very nice thing because she's saying hello to Paul Thaddeus, you, and Prairie Fire, and said, "Ha! I found the most intelligent people follow Flip City Mag," and I would say I agree 100%. Only the most intelligent people follow us. Maybe that's why my chats aren't flooded. Ooh, boom for people that aren't watching. Thank you for popping that one up, Cosmic. So what's up, Classical Chick, if you are still hanging around? And Rumble, I don't think I've checked in with yet. Over there, Mad Pogue said happy birthday, Cosmic. And Norm's over there as well, Hangton, Alien Surfer. So thank you guys for checking out the stream. I'd super duper love it if you would give us thumbs up, fires, the pill, whatever it is, to say you agree and you like this, and share out our stream. I would super love to have larger audiences, so when we do more of these creative chaos streams, we can feature the fascinating people creating fantastic things to a larger audience. So remember, share.
And real quick, Project Bluebeam just jumped in.
And Project Bluebeam over on Pilled?
Bluebeam just popped in on. Yes, Bluebeam just popped in on Foxhole.
Okay, cool.
Just saying hello.
Hello, Project Bluebeam. We met in his chat the other day. So
cool.
And I believe he went over and bought a Flip City magazine. So that is probably already on its way. All right. So we are done checking in with the chat for now. And I think it is actually time for us to move in to our first segment, which is, it's called Mansplain. Okay. And I haven't, now, Corissa, I haven't confirmed whether you identify as a man, and I forgot to ask, and we didn't do the preferred pronouns. So I'm just going to assume you're a man, so that I can do this segment. And I have a burning question. So you found rather quick success, from how I understand it, in the crowdfunding sphere, consistently pulling in about 3,000 or more. I believe you're above that now on your Kickstarter, for pretty much every campaign you run. Am I close there?
Yeah, my first one for the old one before I knew what I was doing was 900, but my second one a month later was 2,800, and all the other ones have been over 3,000.
Fantastic. And then, so now I did want to let you know, Flip City, we have been publishing for 4 years, but we just started dipping our toes into the crowdfunding sphere. And I'd love for you to explain how to get funded and supported on crowdfunding platforms.
The easiest way to tell you is I did 140 podcasts last year.
Well, then tell me, how do you get on the podcast?
So I went and begged. I would search for comic podcasts and nerd podcasts and geek podcasts and horror podcasts, and I would message them, and I would get banned for messaging so many because I would be a bot because I messaged nonstop. I messaged on the Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and Google and everything I could find. And yeah, I would say 25% got back to me, maybe 40% by, a lot of them. But yeah, that's all there was to it,
actually, to get that kind of response rate.
Yeah, and they liked what I had, and I've been on a lot, and some of them were doubled. But I was probably not counting Pop's show. If you want to count being on Pop's network, it's like 160. But for the ones that I had planned, it was about 140. And that was pretty much the only way I got word out there. Twitter doesn't really seem to work anymore. The algorithms changed, and I have 5.3 thousand followers, and like don't get really any views anymore, even though I was paying for the check mark. So I don't know why, because it used to be my favorite platform. Facebook has been working really well, which is good. I never liked Facebook before, but I appreciate it working now. I do try to communicate with a lot of my followers on there. I have 5,000 followers, so I like to talk with as many as I can, and I want that helps with the algorithm. And I think I've been very lucky lately because a lot of people have responded to things that I asked. I asked a question, and it's getting so many responses. I have not logged into Facebook because I was scared of how many notifications I've gotten. I screenshotted that I had like 63 in 1 hour, so I have not been on there. So it was a good question, apparently. All I asked was, what's your favorite movie? Apparently. So but I do like to respond to every single one of them. I don't know why I did it on the day I was working. I should have waited till the weekend. But I will try to get back to everyone as soon as I can, because I do like to. I have this horrible thing. I do not like anyone to feel ignored. So like when I'm on a podcast and there's comments, I hate it when they don't acknowledge that the person asked a question or they said something, and I think it's just like an anxiety to be like, they're ignored, they're being ignored. So I do feel bad that I haven't responded to like the last 100 people that have written on those comments. So I will get back to those.
You know what? I mean, it seems then, since you have, you lean that way of feeling bad and you want to actually interact with your audience, no wonder you grew. People want to be responded to on social media.
They do seem to enjoy somebody acknowledging them. Yeah. Like I'll say a simple word or two and they'll just go off on a rant, and then I'll have a conversation with them, and I really like talking to people. I always joke when I'm on the podcast and they say, "Oh, where can they find you?" I say, I'm the kid that would have got kidnapped as a kid. I talk to anybody at any time. So you could just, write to me on Facebook. And as long as you don't just start with the word hi, because apparently those are all scammers. So every time like somebody says hi, it's like 3 sentences in where they're like, where are you from? What are you doing? And this is what I do. And I was like, no. So that doesn't work. But generally I really like to communicate with the other ones. And in case anyone can tell, I'm quite the talker, so I can easily talk to anybody for a long period of time. We do have our own I'm calling it the non-show. I like to go live on Mondays at 8. But I'm calling it the non-show because I'm very lazy and don't like to think ahead, plan ahead, or book ahead. So that's it.
Well, that's the thing that I've kind of seen kind of works for a lot of people, is not really having much of a show planned or formatted or anything like that. And me personally, I can't do that. I need to be as planned as possible. But I do want to be lazy. Believe me.
I'm like that. Yeah. Everyone, like, Pops calls me the hardest working woman in comics. And I'm just like, that is so weird to hear, because I've been called lazy my entire life. So it's very weird to hear someone call me hardworking. Apparently when I'm passionate about something, which I've never really been before, then I get, apparently not lazy. I mean, I don't gift wrap my husband's gifts, but I gift wrap every single comic that goes out. So I mean, I guess I've hated gift wrapping my entire life. And then I went to go wrap my first campaign, and I was just gonna put them in the folder, and they seemed so naked, even though they were in bags and boards. And so I went to put a tissue paper in there, and I was like, that doesn't look very neat. So I wound up folding it, and now I'm just stuck with this gift wrapping every single one that goes out. And I ship out the day after the campaign ends, depending on what time it ends. So I actually took the next day off, and I spend 2 days straight just packing and sending out. And these get out. I don't make people wait. I'm a very impatient person, so I want to send them everything. Plus, I have a Kickstarter 4 weeks after I end, so I need to get these out for people.
You know what? That's really interesting too, because I'm sure that in itself is also building loyalty from your fans, because they back, the campaign closes, and they get it in 5 days. I mean, that's not what happens in crowdfunding very often.
I did not realize that. Yeah, I did not realize that when I started. My thing was, I was trying to build, as you said, I was trying to build the trust that you're going to get these. Like, I have anxiety, and I'm not an anxiety person, so I hate using that word. I'm not one of those, I have anxiety. I really don't. But like, I get this like panic attack when you go to hit the Kickstarter and it says you're not guaranteed, you're pledging because you believe in it, but you're not guaranteed anything. And I'm just like, who the hell pledges for these things? So the fact that people go in and they buy, I got a bunch of people buying my hardcovers for $40, or the $80 ketchup tiers, and that's a form of trust that I really appreciate, that people do that, because you're giving up your hard-earned money to a Kickstarter, and I want them to know that they're getting it. And from day one, I always said, I don't start a Kickstarter without actually having the item in hand. I mean, the only ones that I've really done that for are the pre-orders, and that's, my plushie Anubis, because I ordered 100 already. And they're being made, and they should be shipped like this week. So it's a pre-order. And then my zombies are pre-orders, but that's because you can embroider anybody's birthday on the back. So I've been telling people they can put their birthday on the back, or they can, somebody that drives them crazy, they can put their birthday on the back. So this would be like their little zombie mental patient.
Or voodoo doll.
Yeah, I haven't said that, but it's been spoken about. So
Okay.
yeah, like a voodoo doll. So those are the only pre-orders. But like when I did my the Kickstarter for the hardcover, I ordered 500 of these. So it was very risky to order 500 hardcover backs. And I just believe in my product and hope that it works out. Like, let me just put it this way for anyone that's listening. It's better to be lucky than smart. Because the things that I do, I've been very lucky in. So I've been very blessed in the fact that it is working out so far. So don't follow what I say or do. But yeah, it's and a lot of people are coming to me. I'm getting these DMs all the time. I got 2 today that are like, "Oh, you've inspired me. I'm trying to do more Kickstarters, and I'm trying to get them, more scripts made, and I'm doing, the book first." And I was just like, yeah, just follow me at your own risk because it is a risk. You got to have complete and utter passion. I've never released these for profit whatsoever. The more the book makes, the more my artist makes, because he's severely underpaid. But yeah, it's not really for profit. It's just I want to see them, continue to get them made. And when I talked to publishers, at least 2 in the beginning, and they wouldn't even read my proposal because it was 45 issues at the time, and they don't look over anything over 3. And I got a fight with one of them because he's like, "Oh, only 65% read the second one, and then even less read the third one." And I said, "Then you're writing the wrong story, or you're buying the wrong stories, because the whole point is you want them to fall in love with the characters and to follow the characters as they go." And I hear that a lot with my characters, where they have these 2 characters that they're rooting for, and they want them to make it to the end, or they want them to survive or whatever. Even though we torture our poor characters, but yeah, people are rooting for. Even I got a call from my letterer SK in Australia, and I said, "That's hi," like what's he's like, "I'm mad at you." And I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Because I've been doing lettering for over 5 years, and I've never become invested in the characters so much, and now I'm forced to be invested in your characters." And like, I'm rooting for these characters, and you're driving me crazy. And I was like, "I'm sorry."
because you keep torturing them.
I'm horrible. I'm a horrible person. Yeah. It's, we put them through hell, but we let them generally stay together. That should be enough, right? And we have been calling it, like they said, "What's the shortest pitch line you can come up with?" And I said, "It's Romeo and Juliet in hell." that's pretty much how it goes. And it's its own genre. It's horror, it's supernatural, it's adventure. But the underlining story is that they're a love story. They're soulmates that go through the years together, and they don't have any memories of it, and they meet up in each life. And in this one, they're fighting against their angel and demon father. They're trying to take this angelic weapon that she was created from away from her, and unfortunately, it uses her soul to activate. And if it uses her soul, then she can't reincarnate anymore. She can't go to heaven. She can't go to hell. And Draven would be without him for all eternity. So the stakes are pretty high for them. It's not just dying. And a couple of times they'll say, "Well, if you die, I'll find you again." But when the stakes become high where they're not going to reincarnate, it's a little bit more higher stake,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. Hey, so because you just kind of brought up, that you're dealing in supernatural and horror, themes and everything, I think we're going to move on to our next segment, which is called Play It Cosmic.
I want to live with a conspiracy girl. I could be prepping the rest of my life with a conspiracy girl.
Those weren't even.
All right. So you may not know, I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. This is the first time that we have met. And because you're kind of dealing in supernatural realms and you have your cute little Anubis plushie, who you may still have there if you wanted to show anybody. Oh, wait, I think we have a picture of Anubis coming up. I think. There he is. Yep. And everybody knows, there's mysteries surrounding ancient Egypt. So I am super duper curious how large your tinfoil hat is. Likely not as large as mine, but that's okay. So I want to know. Oh, I wanted to let you know as well that you can speak freely. This is a safe space. What conspiracy theories interest you?
I'm probably gonna get hate for this. If my mom ever hears this, she'll kill me.
Hate.
I'm not saying I'm completely set on this. I'm just saying I'm not completely convinced that we went to the moon.
Ooh.
Because I've done a lot of research on this, and a lot of things have always bothered me about the pictures being the same miles away, or that the video that they had as a trailer for the TV was exactly what it was when they went on the moon. How in the 60s they could barely broadcast to the next city, but they were able to broadcast from the moon. How the biggest one, though, was the fact that Russia lived in space and said, if we can land on the moon, don't you think we would have landed on the moon? There is a level of radiation that you would need like 4 feet of lead to get through to get to the moon. And when I looked up how we magically got there, they went really fast. But I don't know if anyone realizes that's not generally how radiation works. And the fact that, yes, somebody pointed out that there are mirrors on the moon that you can see. However, Russia also put mirrors on the moon, and they use rovers. So, and apparently in all the decades that we've gone, we've already found everything we need to on the moon and have not gone back. So
well, I'm gonna just stop you right there, because I bet you didn't hear at the very beginning of the stinger, they say, if we went, why wouldn't we go back?
Yeah. So I can be convinced. I'm open-minded, but I have not yet seen enough evidence. And everyone's like, oh, you can take a telescope and you can see things on there. I was like, everything you see can be put there by a rover. I have no evidence of the people that were there. And all that fun stuff. So like I said, I'm open-minded. I will listen to people's things, but I need straight facts about evidence that we've been on there, because the fact that these mirrors were easily placed by Russia by rovers, it makes me think, why wouldn't Russia just go put them there? They've had enough fun in space. They lived out there for years and they just don't feel like going over to the moon too far. I don't know. No DoorDash from the moon. I don't know, whatever.
The conspiracy corner, I think, has become my favorite segment. It feels like it's how I can bond with people that I have on. And I'm waiting to get somebody that doesn't have a conspiracy theory and is like, oh no, I'm not going to talk about any of that. I doubt they'd come on my show.
Safest thing in the world, because people are like, you're crazy, we've been to the moon. I'm just like, have we though? We didn't even have cell phones. To be on the moon and we've lost all the data, and we lost all the footage from the moon magically. And how the fact that they had their test footage was identical to what you saw on the TV. So, yeah, I'm not completely convinced. And one of my clients is like, oh, my son works in NASA. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure they disposed all the secrets to him, so I'm sure you're all set. Yeah. So, and I don't know if anyone's seen these, but there's a lot of, and obviously we've been into space as far as I know, because we did put rovers out there, and but I don't know if you've seen all the green screens of them in space. Like China had the green screens and the guy went to go get a glass of water and his hand disappeared because it was like, whatever. So I don't know. I have a lot of questions. My mom said it was the most amazing thing ever. And I was just like, well, I'm telling you, we barely have that technology now to talk on the moon, but apparently in the 60s, you're talking to somebody on the moon and video recording. So sure. Why not? Why not?
Wait a minute. They had electric cars back in the 30s. Okay. In the 20s and 30s. They had electric cars.
So I did see those buildings, but we didn't use any of that technology with the Mercury spears. See, I know conspiracy theories. But that is not a conspiracy theory because that actually existed. The whole Mercury gave us free power that they took away. I also know about the conspiracy about how they purposely make it that things don't last as long, how we have a light bulb that's been on for 102 years, and now they purposely make it so they don't last as long. That is not a conspiracy theory, though. Those are facts.
They need us. Well, that's the thing, though, Corissa, and why I call myself a giant conspiracy theory. There's all these things that are proven fact, but everybody's so like brainwashed to make you seem like you're the crazy one if you're just spitting facts out there. So we're all conspiracy theories.
Hear facts. They don't want to hear facts. Like the way Tesla had a patent for free energy, but they purposely they used how did they do it? They said it was dangerous and showed how an elephant gets fried if you use Tesla's patent.
Yes.
It wasn't Tesla's patent, it was the original patent for electricity. So they're a bunch of liars. So there are facts out there. Nobody wants to believe any of it. So I just keep
not nobody. Just the normies.
The nobodies. Yeah,
the nobodies, exactly.
The nobodies. Yeah. No, I've seen those electric scooters back in the I saw the ads for the electric scooters. I saw the free, they were showing the spears on how it spins and creates the energy. Also, I saw the hieroglyphics of using tuning forks to lift the large blocks of stone.
Yeah.
So, and then they tested it in a smaller, and they were able to lift these stars of stone. I read all about how people thought that it was slavery that put the temples together, but actually they were well paid and revered and revered as higher powers of people that got spoiled and food and everything because they were doing this work. So the people don't want to hear any of that. So yeah, I would just say anyone that gets mad at you refuses to read facts, and you can tell the people that don't like facts because they speak louder instead of speaking more facts. They just like to talk, and I'm an Italian, so for me to say that, but they talk louder. I'm an Italian New Yorker, so yeah, for me to say they're speaking louder is a whole other thing. But yeah, the louder they speak, the dumber they are. So. Not Italians, I mean the louder.
Except Italians.
Yeah, except Italian. But we only have loud and loudest. We don't have any other volume. I'd go to the movies with my dad, who was born in northern Italy, and he does not know how to whisper. So it's a little different. But during an argument, if they start getting louder at you instead of getting wiser words at you, then get out of the conversation because you're not gonna win.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, you're not going to win, but you will win.
Well, you won, but you're not going to get the last word in.
Yes, and there's no convincing. Yes, I absolutely agree. And it's so funny because I will call the segment closed for now. But this is also kind of how the segment's been going, is we start on one thing and then it's like, oh wait, but then I know this and I know that and that happens and then I know this, and it's like, yep, everything's a conspiracy theory.
I know a lot of things about nothing.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to be closing it out soon. Something that I saw, Cosmic, I don't even know where you were grabbing this, but somewhere people were dropping either gifts or stickers over on Pilled of a bunch of like tinfoil hats and stuff like that. It was cracking me up. I don't know if you saw that. Okay. Oh, that must have been over on Odyssey. I think that's Rogaroo over on Odyssey. Yeah, see, those aren't popping up for me. So thank you dropping those fun gifts over there. So back when I was planning out this episode of Creative Chaos, normally what I like to do to close out is a Flip City branding, and we do a live read. But because of your dyslexia and you can't really read out loud, but I still have to brand you. Okay. But this is an easy one and it's a fun one. So I chose one of our animations. It is called Strange Earthlings, and it's a parody of Stranger Things. Nice. That we published in print a while back, and then we turned into a cartoon. So I'm going to make you watch it.
Nice.
Welcome, adventurers. I am your game master, Will the Wuss. Tonight's quest will take you on an epic adventure to the Cliffs of Elfindor.
Ugh, not again.
Your party embarks from the Bard's Codpiece Tavern when suddenly the ground begins to shake.
Was that an earthquake?
No, Mucus, this weird chick has been living under my table for weeks. I think she's a cast-off from a bad new metal band.
Do you have to feed her like a pet?
Not really. She eats the crumbs off my floor.
You little... Careful, Mike. She could be an escaped mental patient from Hawkins' nut house. She might slit your throat in your sleep.
Could a mental patient do this?
That was awesome. What other tricks did you teach her?
Mike, I need a hot tub. A big one.
Entitled, aren't we? Put a ring on it first.
It's for my sensory deprivation, so I can have my crazy visions again.
Oh boy, here we go.
I also need 600 pounds of Jell-O, ice cold and shaken.
I'll see if Beyonce is available.
That's all the Jell-O. Now to add ice cubes, chill for 2 hours, and top with whipped cream. Remember, we need absolute silence so Ash 11 can concentrate. Are you remembering anything yet?
Shut up! I'm trying. Now I remember. I remember Papa Joe. I was always Papa's favorite smelling child. I was the subject of weird experiments as part of a government mind control program. Until one day, the repeated trauma of long showers with Papa must have triggered my psychic abilities.
Everything I did for the 10%.
I remember walking into the special ward. You know, the one with all the tards and morons.
Oh, look who finally decided to join us. I guess the Lunesta and Ambien cocktail wore off. Now go put on something sexy. We're meeting with business partners of mine in an hour. The Russians are busting my balls over my hard drive, so we're going to extort the Chinks into blackmailing the Russians and getting me a seat on the board. Plus, they both screwed me over on a ketamine deal. It's all about leverage. Anyway, dude, Dad has connections to the son of a head of a Guangzhou oil firm. Now that's where you come in.
No, I won't do it. You're not using me as bait in your twisted schemes. It's all my fault. I made this happen. I opened up a gap in time and space to an alternate dimension. Dustbin, what are you doing in here?
Just thought I'd chill out. Get it? Because it's Jell-O.
Mike, I have to go into the upside-down clown world and save the world or something.
Then we're going with you.
There's an opening to the upside-down clown somewhere in these woods. There's also a lot of animal scat, so try not to step in it. Everybody, hold your nose. There's no regular trash pickup.
Phew, it smells like dead dog's butt up in here. What the hell is that thing?
My brother.
Your brother's a demo moron, dog. Head for the hills.
Oh my god, it's disgusting. The chicks are kind of banging though. Ash Levin, you're back, and you brought me a fresh batch of child actors.
These are my friends, not your personal casting couch.
You sure? I got a wad of cash and a lot of coke.
Is that classic coke or new coke?
Meet my friends, famous Hollywood producers James Gorgon from Gorgons of the Galaxy and Brian Singor of X-Men. Fresh meat. Dibs on the chubby one. Fist bump, bro. Ash, use your super psychic powers on this plant puss already. She won't save you. She wants to be famous too badly.
I don't know, Mike. They just offered me a lead role on an Amazon Prime show.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to Hollywood. So our quest ends, but the greatest adventure lies ahead of us.
Shut up. Hey, Mucus, I heard they're casting for Black Panther 2.
Nah, hell with that. I'm finna be the next Gandalf.
This is ending just like a real Spielberg movie. Hours of wasted time and I'm half asleep.
All right. Yay. You are officially Flip City branded now.
Nice.
Yeah. I just want to do one more check-in before we say goodnight. Thank you so much, Norm Hangton, Alien Surfer, for the cookie. No, it was Surfer Chick. So thank you, Kitty, for the cookie tonight. And also Project Blue Beam for donating 420 pills. Wink. I know what that means. And I also got a very nice compliment. I believe it was Stuck in New York said my hat was the perfect kind of shiny or something like that. I can't find the thing right now, but thank you. I think it was a compliment on my tinfoil hat. I'm very proud of it. I think I'm going to make different designs. I was thinking about that the other night. For my background, I'm going to put another shelf up and I'm going to have a tinfoil cowboy hat, a tinfoil fedora, and then I'll have my choices of tinfoil hats to choose from. So thank you everybody for being here. Check out Carissa's Kickstarter campaign on Kickstarter. It is in the description of the videos across all the platforms. And you
can also search Worthy Chaos. That's the easiest way to find it too. Just search Worthy Chaos and Kickstarter. We're the only thing that pops up. There's a pre-launch for 9 and there's a live 8 for 6 more days.
And then if anybody's interested in following you across social media, where should they find you?
So I'm on Facebook. We have a Facebook group, Worthy Chaos. We have a business page, Worthy Chaos. You can find me, Corissa Grant, and on Twitter at Worthy_Chaos, or you can pretty much search Worthy Chaos on any platform and we will show up somewhere.
Okay, awesome. It was super cool to have Worthy Chaos come join Creative Chaos. I thought that was
I do love chaos. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with it too. And then Batman, where can people find you? You have anything to plug?
Absolutely. So aside from Thursday nights here at Flip City Mag, we do our own show called Three Beermen. Cosmic Grandpa and I, along with Hangton Alien Surfer and the Hawk, talk about beer, pop culture, and technology every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Big Apple time, 6 o'clock avocado time here on the Foxhole. Odyssey, Twitter, no, not Twitter, I'm sorry, Twitch. Cosmic, help me out here.
D-Live.
Thank you, D-Live. Rumble, not yet, we're getting there. But yes, you can check us out mostly on pill.net.
Awesome.
So, thank you.
Now, I've heard D-Live is asshole, but you guys are still streaming over there. You must have an audience.
We
do indeed.
Very dedicated audience over there on D-Live. Good friends.
Well, and you know what? You can't say your audience is asshole. So cool. I understand why you guys still stream over there. And thank you again to everybody that came and joined in the chat. Corissa, it was so fantastic to meet you. Batman, thank you for filling in my blanks. And Cosmic, as always, super thank you for producing so I get to chill and not have to live produce, because that it changes my personality. So I get to actually engage with what Chris is saying, even though she looks like she's done with me.
I'm trying to stay warm in the basement.
All right, cool. Let's get out of here. We Calora Band is our closing band, same as the opening band. You can check them out at caloraband.com and you can roll it. Bye, guys.
Hi. Someone said something I don't agree with. I am so offended. I need to say space.
caring what's going on.
We can't agree to disagree. Oh no, rules of the game apply to me, but not to you. You figure eight, tell me to change, but why can't you change? Well, you bitch and cry like a baby. When you the bitch, you're always complaining. When you bitch and cry like a baby. When you the bitch, you're always complaining.
Nobody fucking cares that you don't like chicks with dicks.
This whole trial has just got this country so upset. It's so obvious what's going on with this Kyle Rittenhouse thing.
What a shame, you're full of shame, but that ain't on me. That's on you, or pardon me if I don't concede to your groove thing.